Welcome to...
Wait, Tim. Welcome to Memorial Cooking Innovation. My name is Manuel Marini, Executive Chef.
And I'm Tim Scallon, Registered Dietitian. You know, Chef Manny, you would think that Oriental food with its veggies and lean, modest meat portions would be a healthy choice, but actually we have to watch sodium in Oriental food.
Yeah, and you know, soy sauce is one of those ingredients that are high on sodium. Mm-hmm. And by using too much, you're going to actually cover all these flavors you're trying to enjoy. And one of the things that you and I always talk about is to be able to enjoy all the flavors. Mm-hmm. You know, be able to close your eyes and say, I can taste this, I can, you know, I feel this, I do that. By adding too much, it doesn't just mean soy sauce, but by adding too much of one ingredient or one spice could just throw the whole plate around. Yeah. Just like, remember that cooking show that we had on Asian where we had a beef and broccoli?
Yes, when there we used a lean beef and a low sodium soy sauce. And so on Memorial Cooking Innovations, we're giving you back Chinese food.
And the sauce is pretty simple. It's a little bit of low sodium.
Okay.
All right. A little bit of onions. We're going to add a little bit of garlic and a little bit of ginger. Make a sauce and then thicken it with a little bit of cornstarch.
Okay. Now you said a little bit of low sodium, but what you meant was low sodium
soy sauce. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm glad you brought that one too.
Well, that's something that I wanted to tell people about. You really have to read the label on soy sauce because you know, just a tablespoon of regular soy sauce is 900 milligrams of sodium. Put that in perspective, low sodium diet is 2,000 milligrams, half of it in 1 tablespoon. This particular low sodium soy sauce is 533 milligrams in a tablespoon. So it's
not
half.
Much. Yeah, but it's not much.
It's still high in sodium,
better.
but we're going to use small amount. And this is the way that we give you back your Oriental food, is we choose the right soy sauce and we use limited amounts of it. Now, don't expect your Chinese takeout to use low sodium soy sauce or to use small amounts of it. In order to fit your sodium guidelines, you need to use this recipe or use one like it and choose the right products. Limit your sodium.
Beautiful. What do you think, Tim?
That's beautiful.
That's good? We're going to put it right here. So.
Okay. So just going to set those aside.
Yeah, let me get the rest of them out.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Looks good?
Yep.
Beautiful. What I'm going to do is let me put a little bit of the peanut oil again. Mm-hmm. This is going to be a little hot, so we're going to put just a little bit, right, Tim?
Yep. So this is going to be the sauce for the beef and broccoli.
Right. And then we're going to throw our onions.
So you're going to sweat the onions. I've learned
this one we will do. We'll sweat.
This is a chef term. Sweat the onions.
And just the smell of onions is pretty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we're going to add, of course, ginger. It's
interesting the way you express that. As the chef, the artist, you say the smell of onions is pretty.
It is.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. It's that artist coming in. You know?
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to cook this up a little bit.
Okay.
Then I am going to add a little bit of garlic because we're going to add our liquid after that. So we're going to flavor the garlic a little bit.
So basically you're complementing, you added these same flavors in the stir-fried rice as you're doing with the beef.
With the beef.
Yeah. And you'll notice in these recipes there's no salt used.
Not yet.
Well, we're
gonna add the salt with this low sodium
soy sauce. So we're getting the salty from this low sodium soy sauce.
So we're gonna go ahead and do this.
Okay.
All right. But here's the catch to it. This is what you said was 500 milligrams.
Yeah, in a tablespoon. Yes.
But since we're gonna add a little bit of vegetable oil, we're stretching it out.
That's right.
Less sodium.
That's right. That's right. And that sounds like a lot in a small amount of soy sauce, but we're going to spread this out in the number of servings for the dish. So you're not actually getting all 500 of those milligrams.
Exactly.
In fact,
it's a good thing.
Yeah. In fact, this whole dish, the beef and broccoli and the rice and the dessert, all comes in at 500 milligrams of sodium. So see, that fits well within that 2,000 milligram range that we're shooting for.
I got some nice crushed red pepper.
And you know what? I've learned you don't have to buy this. If you ever order a pizza, now I know you never order pizza out, and they give
Tim,
you these
you order
little,
pizza?
Never. And you get these little packages of red pepper flakes, and you can save them. They last forever.
Oh, they last forever. It's good on just about anything, really.
Yeah.
If you want a little spice to it, you could always add a little more. I just added a little pinch.
You know, these days you have to pinch every penny here and there.
And this is the way to do it.
And I'm saving lots on red pepper flakes.
The pizza people are not gonna send any more. But anyway, Tim, I got a little bit of cold water.
Okay.
A little bit of cornstarch.
Okay. So you're going to make a sauce for this.
Yeah, we're just actually gonna make. We're gonna make like a glaze, really, because we're gonna glaze our vegetables and stuff.
Okay.
So what I'm doing is adding a little cornstarch with cold water, adding it to hot liquid.
Yep.
Okay.
And of course,
you're gonna add a little bit of. We did this one time, but again, add a little bit of time. Don't just pour it all in there because it'll clump on you. Yeah, exactly. So what we're gonna do? See how nice it's boiling.
Sure
real quick?
Smells good. Boy,
It
this
sure
is
does,
really,
doesn't it?
And this is healthy. I can eat this.
And you can eat this, Tim.
Okay. Okay. Well, Chef Manny, I brought this electric wok.
And these are really, really good.
Yeah.
They come in handy. These are actually really nice. You can put in the center of the table, cook while people are sitting around you.
Do it table side.
Yeah,
that's
that
a
would
great
be
idea.
wouldn't that be great?
Okay.
But guess what? I got mine.
Well,
and mine
and
is really, it's a nice saute pan. It's a little deeper one. It's considered a wok. So
yeah, and a chef likes to use his own pan.
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
we did a show, and remember we did one with the wok, and it worked out great. I mean, it was great.
Yeah.
But I brought this one.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So what are we going to
You
do?
can put that one right there on the
All
side,
right.
and just keep an eye on this as it simmers. Okay.
Okay. Good.
So, let's talk about beef, Tim.
All right. We're talking beef here.
I got a nice eye round, which is
Okay.
nice and lean.
Yeah.
And I told the guys, hey, save me a little piece because I got a cooking show to do.
Okay.
So it's a
good,
nice, I
good.
want to see if we can.
Look how lean this is. Now, this is a good example of how we can't eat beef on our healthy diet. Well, of course you can. You just pick the lean cuts.
The lean cuts.
And that's true for pork, too. You know, pork, they're like a center cut pork loin, very lean cut of meat.
So this is nice. I mean, we can trim the excess.
Yeah.
And it's not much. Just trim a little bit of it.
Yeah. Just trim
Don't
that
waste
fat
too
off.
much.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the neat things about this dish is this is an all-in-one dish. You've got a lean meat. You have some very good antioxidant vegetables, very rich in antioxidants. Your broccoli is, and you're combining it with a whole grain. I mean, you've got everything in this dish.
So what I'm doing is I'm cutting nice thin pieces. And the reason I want to cut thin, you can cut thick, but you want to cook as fast as possible. Okay. And that's the idea of stir frying. Okay. You're stirring and you're frying the food, which means that you want to cook it quick. You want your vegetables to be crispy and al dente and crunchy and stuff like that. But you also want the meat to cook at the same. You can do this with chicken. You can do it with pork.
And so one of our cooking tips today then is what stir fry is. It's cooking at a high temperature quickly, huh?
Quickly.
Okay. And that's the reason that you were using the peanut oil instead of the olive oil. You see us use olive oil all the time, and the reason we do that is because it has a healthy fat in it. Well, the problem is it won't take the high temp, and so you use your peanut oil. Well, speaking of healthy fats like olive oil, we mentioned that there is a starch in one of your recipes today that will lower your cholesterol. And most people think starch is a bad thing. Well, it just happens that brown rice, when they mill off the hull to make white rice, they not only get rid of the bran, but there's a little bit of oil in that bran, and that oil lowers your bad cholesterol.
And that's always good to know.
Mm-hmm. So it's just like olive oil. This brown rice lowers your cholesterol just like olive oil does.
Beautiful. We got our oil going. Mm-hmm. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and let me get my spatula here real quick. Mm-hmm. If you have a wooden one, it would be better.
Okay.
So let me try one to make sure it's hot. See how it sizzles?
Yep, yep.
Okay, so we want to throw our beef in there.
Okay. Sure is beautiful, isn't it?
And just be careful because it does splatter some and it jumps up on you, but nice and quick. Again, we're not using salt because we got the sauce already there.
So you're going to rely on that soy sauce for your salt.
Yeah, if you don't mind, Tim, I got a nice spoon here. Taste the sauce too.
Okay.
Be careful, it is hot.
Yeah. I see him in the kitchen all the time, and he tastes this stuff and it's burning hot. I can't do that. I don't know. I guess it's a chef thing.
I got some broccoli. We're going to throw some broccoli in there.
Boy, that's really good. And you know what's neat about this? You have a lot of flavor in there, but it's not just bowl me over salty. You taste the soy sauce, but
what about the ginger and everything else?
Yeah.
You got to blend the flavors, right?
it's delicious.
I did slice some carrots.
Okay, so you're going to throw in some carrots just.
I'm gonna throw in some carrots. Okay.
That's not in our recipe, you know.
It is.
It is now, isn't it?
It is. I got some red. No, I'll tell you what. I'll surprise you. I got some red peppers for color
Yeah.
also, and
That's beautiful.
It's got a lot of vitamins in there.
Yep.
But you know what? I did have some poblano. I wanted to add.
You know, we
gotta have the little touch.
You know, I have learned to enjoy these poblano peppers from watching you.
It has such a wonderful flavor.
You know, if you haven't found poblano peppers in your grocery store, look for them because, and you know, I don't know if you can get those in Minnesota or not, but you see them here a lot, and they are just so delicious. You know, a lot of people think they're real hot.
And what I'm doing is I'm sauteing it real quick. It'll sizzle in a minute, and beautiful color, right? Then once we know that the beef is cooked to our like, then we'll add the sauce, stir it around, and pull it to the side, and then we'll do our fried rice. How's that?
Ooh,
so this doesn't take really that long. Like I said,
this is the part that I still haven't gotten down.
it just takes a little
I
practice.
still have to stir.
Now we're just gonna go grab our sauce.
Okay.
Tim, let me get this real quick.
Oops.
That's good.
Okay.
And we're just gonna toss a little bit of it. Okay. You can always add more, but you just want to flavor enough to flavor it. All right.
Yep.
And then guess what? We're gonna just let it simmer.
Chef
and then,
Manny, that smells so good.
It does, doesn't it?
And
Oh.
and it's you know, it's like we always say, you eat with your eyes. When you see something beautiful like this, whoa.
So I'm gonna put it like that.
Okay.
Look at that. Smell the ingredients. It's something so easy and simple.
Okay.
And yet good and healthy.
I'm
for
getting
us.
hungry.
Beautiful. Now let's start with the rice.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Manuel Marini, Executive Chef. Today I want to talk about proper cooling. When we have a nice feast, the family's over, there's always some left over. A lot of times we like to just put it up and throw it in the refrigerator. Or just let it sit outside for a couple of hours till it cools down. Here's the proper way of doing so. One is that we have a nice leftover here. What I like to do is we grab a nice pan of ice, put some ice down here. We'll put another pan on top of it. And what I like to do is that we transfer everything that we have into a bigger pan. And the reason for that is that we want to thin it out as much as we can. And it'll help cool faster. And then what you do is, you know, just every 2-3 minutes, just come by and stir it a little bit. Then we reach for a thermometer, of course, and then let's take the temperature. Temperature should reach 45 or below. Then we can safely put it in our refrigerator. I'm Manuel Marini, Executive Chef for Memorial Cooking Innovations.
A lot of people think that you have to completely avoid salt to abide by a healthy lifestyle. But what we've learned on Memorial Cooking Innovations is that if you watch what you're doing, you can get by with a pinch of salt here, a pinch there in cooking, not at the table.
Well, actually, by cooking home-cooked meals, you know, going home and enjoying, you can control how much salt you put in there. You can also control how much fat you're using. So, I mean, there's nothing better than a home-cooked meal.
Well, and also meat and cheese are high sodium foods, and so what you see us doing on Memorial Cooking Innovations is we limit the meat portions to 3 to 4 ounces, and some cheeses are high in sodium like feta, some are relatively lower like mozzarella, so we'll use more mozzarella and less feta.
It's the same thing with the soy sauce. You know, soy sauce is high, so we moderate. We use a lot of stuff that has high sodium, but we use very little of soy sauce, olives, things like that are saturated with salt.
So in some of our recipes, in other words, we have some high sodium ingredients, but we
very little.
Yeah, I remember that recipe that we just cut those 2 Greek olives into 4 or 5 pieces.
Exactly.
And that
but, you know, and we got a good flavor out of it. It's only because we want the flavor. Remember, we don't want to overpower, right, by using too much of it. But very little, you're going to actually enjoy the flavor.
Well, and speaking of flavor, if we're going to remove some of the salt and the fat, then we have to put something back in. And so you see us cooking with fresh vegetables and fruits as opposed to canned or frozen.
Exactly.
You see us using fresh herbs. You see us using the low-sodium vegetable broth instead of water, and extra virgin olive oil. And all of these are elements that come into our recipes that bring back flavor and round out the dish. And, of course, you've taught us that.
Yeah, and also, try something new. Never stay with the old traditional, that's the way. Try something new.
Remember that time when I said, okay, we're going to be doing this Oriental theme, so let's do a stir-fried rice. And what'd you say?
Stir-fried rice, let's give it a twist. And you're like, okay, what do you want to do? And I said, let's use barley. And you looked at me like, barley?
Can we do that? Can we do a stir-fried barley?
And I said, why not? And I said, watch.
And it was incredible. Why not? All of a sudden, because of what you were saying, they're both grains. And the barley is a very healthy grain, a grain that we in this country underutilize.
And it's got the flavor, it's got the texture. I mean, we had fun with it.
We did. We had
fun.
And
when we did our cooking class and stuff like that, everyone enjoyed it. So why not? Why not use something? Like I said, give it that twist.
Yeah.
Here is what the recipe calls for: 2 cups of barley.
Okay.
Now, we did it. We cooked it. 2 cups of barley, 4 cups of water, 2 to 1, almost like rice. And how long do we want to cook? We want to bring it to a boil and then let it simmer. Okay. Simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes, no more than that, because we want the rice to be, the barley to be almost al dente. Okay,
yes.
Almost there.
Let the middle be almost done.
Almost done. So, this is what it turned out to be. And then we just shut the fire off.
It's almost a little crunchy.
Exactly, because we're going to saute it in a minute. All right. So we're just going to let it rest.
This grain has a delicious nutty flavor. In fact, I could enjoy that just with a little bit of margarine and some pepper. It'd be a good side just all on its own.
Okay. Our recipe is going to call for a little bit of broccoli, snow peas,
red peppers, green peppers, a little bit of mushrooms,
some carrots. We got some water chestnuts, some green onions, and of course we got ginger.
Ooh, okay. And I got some fresh ginger, which you buy it locally. It's a root plant.
Show us this. Okay.
It doesn't take much.
All
okay.
Right.
So, if you don't mind, Tim, I'm gonna put this down here for a few minutes because I want to show a little thing.
Yeah, here. Because ginger is one of those fresh ginger is one of those things that we don't use a lot.
You don't, and you really don't need a lot because what you can do is 2 things. One, you just buy a root. It's not that expensive, and just keep it in your refrigerator. And ginger goes a long ways with a lot of things. So
I can smell it. It has a real strong smell. It's a pleasing smell.
It's a very pleasing smell.
Ginger has a history of. It's used throughout the East, in India and the Orient, as both as a spice and as a traditional medicine. A ginger tea is used for nausea.
I believe you. It smells so good. So what I did now was just I sliced it a little bit. Then we're going to come back. Now you can grate this if you like.
Heat up. Would you like me to put some oil in there?
Yeah, put a little bit of olive oil, very little, because we're just going to do a quick stir fry.
Okay.
It does smell wonderful, doesn't it? Then here I have some fresh garlic. And one thing you asked me is, Manny, how do you peel garlic? And I'm going to show you real quick. And I'll show you as we're doing our stir fry.
Now I have to tell the story that we're always using fresh garlic in our recipes, and so here I am at home because I'm learning on this. So I'm patiently peeling these garlics, and finally I thought there's got to be an easier way to this, and so I was talking to Chef Mike actually. And I said, okay, so what's the easy way? And, he told me you're going to show us another way.
Yeah, somewhat he does.
Yeah. Well, what Chef Mike told me was, he said, okay, so you just take this garlic like this. And he said, just put it on a cutting board. And may I?
Yeah, sure.
And use the flat of your knife.
And smash it.
And then just kind of push it down. And it's not hard. And then it just peels right off.
And it also, yeah, and it breaks out the
Maybe
heart
I
of
need to mash it a little bit more. There we
Put a
go.
little more weight. I think I
Yeah.
got more weight than you.
Yeah. No.
Well, so
Believe it or not, this is a lot easier than what I was doing. Now you're going to show us another way.
you know what's good garlic about?
What? There it
Makes
is,
your,
right there.
For all the ladies, it makes their nails strong.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it makes your nails strong. So trust me, it
Smells
smells so good.
Okay, now show me, and you said you had another way.
Let me get this one going real quick. Now on the broccoli, it calls for broccoli florets. What I like to do, just like in the Asian restaurant, is just cut the broccoli florets in half.
Okay.
It really looks nice on the plate.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got some of that. I got snow peas. I got all that stuff.
Okay.
Now, one of the camera gentlemen here was wondering what this was. And
Yes.
This right here is bok choy.
Bok choy, okay.
Now,
So-
there's two kinds. There's a baby bok choy, which I personally prefer, but
Okay.
the only thing I could find right now was this, bok choy, which is really good. Now, the secret to this is that we can use it from here all the way up.
Okay.
It's almost like greens. You
Yes.
can use really the whole plant. Clean it, do it everything real nice and neat. So we're going to have this. But what I'm going to do now, because I really like the green part of it, is this one. Now, this one right here, this bok choy, what I did was I rinsed it in water, the whole plant.
Okay.
I kept it there and shook it and did everything to it. So this is all nice and clean. So this is what I want to show you about this part of it.
All right. Now show me, before you go any further, I wanted to see your way of doing garlic, because we wanted to show, we were always showing people how to...
Well, first of all, when you have a big head like this, just grab your hand and just go like this, smash it.
Oh,
right?
okay. Now
I'll
see, I
separate-
didn't know
I'll separate
that.
them because sometimes it does get hard.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
get the bottom of it. It separates them all real
Okay.
quick.
All right.
Now, it also depends on how fresh your garlic is.
Yeah.
When your garlic is really fresh, what I like to do, grab your knife, cut that little bit off,
Yeah.
and usually this one's kind of dry a little bit, but usually
Uh-oh.
there you go.
Oh, well,
See?
try the other one.
Usually you just squeeze the bottom of it, and sometimes they just fall
It'll just come right
come
out.
out right out of the shell, just like that.
And it works better if they're drier, huh?
Well, it works no
or
oilier.
If
they're fresher.
If they're fresher, okay.
So I mean, like I said, it's
Now
just
see, that took you no time. And
No
here
time.
I've been patiently
Yeah, you kinda-
peeling this garlic, and it just takes forever. I knew there was an easier
so
way.
again, if you just press down.
It gets them all.
Everybody has their favorite.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I like to dig it because it really does make your nails strong. So trust me,
Okay.
my little girl enjoys helping me in the kitchen just when it comes to garlic.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Onions make her cry, and she can't understand why I don't cry. And I said, if you only knew how many onions I've done, you get so used to it. So that's my preference, okay, Tim? First thing, or ginger. And then we're going to add I like to add a little bit of garlic. Remember, I don't like garlic first, but this time I do.
Just to flavor that oil.
We're going to do a little carrots.
Okay. So here, what you're doing is you're doing the hard vegetables first, right?
Right, because I want it all crisp.
Okay.
There's our broccoli.
Look at the color there.
It's going to be really nice. I got some nice mushrooms here. Now, when it comes to mushroom, you use whatever mushroom you like, right?
Okay.
Now, we could slice these or whole. I like them whole.
Okay.
And slicing them is really nice.
This is a water chestnut.
Water chestnut. So we're going to save that for last, okay?
Okay. And then you've got some good green onion over
which
there.
I'm saving for last.
Okay.
So we're going to actually lightly saute this.
You know, when we were talking about this recipe, and you said, Tim, you could take just a little bit of bok choy and a very simple dish, just saute it with some just some
That's
pepper,
it.
some pepper,
Olive
and
oil, garlic, and pepper, and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, it is so good.
I went home and I did this very thing. And now I added onion to it. Okay,
Okay, and
'cause I love
that's
onion.
fine. That's fine.
And then I served it with some brown rice. It was delicious, just like it was.
Now, if we had a baby bok choy, next time you go to the store, look
Yeah.
for it. But the baby bok choy is usually about this
About
big.
that big, okay.
So what I like to do is just cut the root off, and then cut it in half, and that's it. Just saute it
Just
lightly
like you did
with
those
a little bit of ginger,
broccoli
just like that.
florets. Okay.
So what I'm gonna do with this, just like when we did the, cut it just in
You're kind of cutting it lengthways.
lengthways.
Okay.
Okay.
Because you want some ribbons.
I want
You
some
a
body
big-
to it. I'm gonna
yeah.
cut it in half just because we're trying to get it real done. But I want it big. I want to be able to enjoy it. See,
Yeah,
it looks
yeah.
so good.
Yeah. I love
What do you think
that.
about that?
You know, bok choy is in the brassica family. And, you know, that's like the family of broccoli and cabbage. And this family of vegetables inhibits cancer growth.
And that's good.
So,
to know.
yeah, this is an anti-cancer food. Ooh, it's beautiful, man.
Now, on bok choy,
You want this one? No?
in the last minute, in bok choy, what about if I'm in some type of medications like coumadin?
Well, no, that's
It is a
true.
very deep green vegetable,
Yeah.
so we have to be careful about that.
That's true. Yeah. So,
But we can use everything else, though.
Yep.
I mean, the carrots, the mushrooms, the
Yep.
bell peppers are
Yep.
really good for you.
maybe leave the broccoli out.
Okay, what about the white part of the green? Is that something that we
No, still it
as
would,
your dietitian, as your doctor?
Yeah, if you were on Coumadin medicine, you wouldn't use any part of the
The green,
bok choy,
okay,
yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
good to know because
Yeah.
I do get asked a lot of those questions, and you know, it's like, well, you know, we'll get together and we'll discuss it as well. But I mean, this is a really nice plate. The bok choy will wilt real fast, so you want to make sure everything else is cooked, and then we'll add to it. Okay.
Okay.
And
All
you
right.
asked me about this. I like last
The green onion,
the green onions, and of course the snow
snow
peas.
peas,
No,
and you didn't do anything with those. You're just using
actually no,
whole.
we cleaned them. Yeah, we cleaned them.
But I mean, you didn't cut them or anything.
No,
You
no,
just-
whole. We
Yeah.
want to do that. Now, when you clean them, I wish I had a couple of them, but just take the top off and just take that string heart of the
okay.
snow pea,
All
okay?
right. Okay. And this one?
And the and the water chestnuts. Like I said, you can slice them. You can do whatever you like just to make it crispy. That's what we're doing.
Now, in this dish, one of the ways that we made this lower in sodium is we started with the light soy sauce. You have to be careful about that because light soy sauce is still very high in sodium.
Exactly.
And so, the way we lower the sodium is we cut it half and half with water.
So I got a little bit of water, Tim.
Yeah. So about 3 tablespoons of water, 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, and that's how we reduce the sodium on this. Oh, this is smelling wonderful.
It is, and beautiful color. So now this is going to help kind of steam it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And this is where you save this for last, and boom, 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 when we're out.
Okay.
And then, if you want to, we can add the.
Ready for this one?
Yeah, let's add
Okay.
this one because this is nice and hot, and we want to flavor it. If you don't mind, just go ahead and I'm gonna pull it to the side right here.
Let me trade with you.
Okay.
Okay.
While it's hot and steamy, because really all we're doing is just really mixing it together.
Okay.
Now we can saute this separate if you like with a little bit of ginger garlic, but we got most of the flavor here.
Okay. Oh, this is beautiful.
Beautiful.
Is that what you want?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at this.
You want this back?
Yeah. Beautiful.
Oh, that's pretty. So you see how that works like a rice, only in this case, what you're doing is you're getting a good whole grain that's just something different.
I think everyone's going to really enjoy this one when they
Oh,
come
that's
to our
beautiful.
diabetic cooking class. And,
Yeah.
you know, because the smell of it just itself is so great.
Well, here again you see us using a low-sodium soy sauce.
Well, keeping up with the traditional recipe, but cut down on the sodium.
Well, and also in this particular recipe, because of you adding the barley, we've got the added health benefit of the barley over the rice.
But you know, by going home and cooking, home cooking, you can actually enjoy all the Asian flavors by cutting down on sodium, but be able to just enjoy the flavors. They're all there.
That's what I like about Memorial Cooking Innovations is putting chef and dietitian together, and we get balanced meals, but we also balance nutrients, but we also get balanced flavors.
Exactly, exactly. There's nothing better than to enjoy everything that... I mean, if you're sitting there, you're putting 12 ingredients in it, you want to be able to taste every one of them.
Isn't this
and
fun?
balance them. Yeah, it's great. And you enjoy that.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Exactly.
We want to thank our sponsors, Sodexo, our friends at City of Lufkin. We'd like to thank Brookshire's, a celebration of food and community. And especially, we'd like to thank you, our viewers. Because of you, Memorial Cooking Innovations is changing the world.
One bite at a time.